people into thinking. The Apostle Matthew in the Christian religion did essentially the same thing 1900 years before Shaw. Matthew stated, "To him who has shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him who does not have, even that which he has shall be taken away." At first glance, that sure doesn't sound very fair. Matthew is saying that the rich will get richer and the poor poorer. People who believe that this is unfair are people who view abundance as something that is being doled out. To them, Matthew's statements would have to appear grossly unfair. If, however, you see abundance as something one attracts, the entire picture would change, and it would be very fair. The prosperous person will be thinking prosperous thoughts and attracting more of the same, while the poor person will be thinking thoughts of lack and limitation. They too, by law, will attract more of the same. Quite simply, what Shaw and Matthew were emphasizing was the importance of our own responsibility in the quest for abundance. Abundance is something we magnetize ourselves to. We draw it into our life. That is abundance in every aspect of our life. Business associates, friends, everything we want will come into our life by law, not luck. You are either attracting or repelling good. It is your own consciousness that ultimately determines your results. I was on the telephone just hours ago with my mentor, Leland Valvandual. He said something during our conversation which stuck in my mind. He said, "The spirit awaits direction from the soul." Permit me to digress for a moment, because there's a great lesson here about receiving. The entire conversation I had with Val had to do with a very large project I am working on to help him. I was giving to him. When he made that statement during our conversation, it is a statement of truth which I will benefit from for the rest of my life. My new understanding, which has resulted from his explanation of the statement, will enable me to be of greater service to you and tens of thousands of other people worldwide. Now, think about what I have just shared with you. Who was giving and who was receiving? It will not take long before you realize we were both doing both. We were giving and receiving simultaneously. Every time I speak with Val, I learn something. I became aware of that many years ago. The man is wise. After you have a conversation with a person who has wisdom, do as I do. Be quiet and then ask yourself what that person said. 9 times out of 10, the lesson, which was hidden in the conversation, will surface in your consciousness. The spirit awaits direction from the soul. That is power. Val's statement contains the secret to everything you could ever want. You will see this when you consider that you do not have a soul, you are a soul. And when you consider that spirit, which is omnipresent, is waiting for direction from the soul. Think about that. Really think. And the lesson will begin to unfold. Now, I said earlier, and I repeat, money is in consciousness, and it must be earned. That is a statement you must understand if you truly desire to attract money into your life. I personally consider Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, to be one of the most complete works ever compiled on the accumulation of wealth. I have carried the same copy of that book with me for over 30 years. I read a bit of it almost every day. In the publisher's preface of the book, it is stated, Think and Grow Rich conveys the experience of more than 500 individuals of great wealth who began from scratch and with nothing to give in return for riches except thoughts, ideas, and organized plan. It clearly states that this book contains the entire philosophy of money-making. Now, the point I want to bring to your attention is this. Think and Grow Rich has 15 chapters, and not one of those chapters is titled Money. In fact, the word money is not even mentioned in the title of any one of the chapters. The last chapter has 8 words in it, but money is not one of them. There's another great book about money. It's one written by G. Donald Walters titled Money Magnetism. Mr. Walters has 14 chapters in his book, and not one is titled Money. The word does appear in the title of Chapter 9, but listen to how it is used. How earning money can promote spiritual growth. Robert Russell's great book about earning money, You Too Can Be Prosperous, contains 8 chapters, and money does not appear anywhere in any of the 8 titles. A number of years ago, I wrote a book, You Were Born Rich. Sam Kalanick, who is the co-chairman of Matal Botanical International Limited, has ordered between 35,000 and 40,000 copies of my book from Bantam Books in New York. Sam is a beautiful person and is one of the wealthiest men I know. Sam uses my book like I use Napoleon Hill's book. He has tens of thousands of people in his company, and he is constantly encouraging them to study You Were Born Rich. There are 10 chapters in my book. It, like Donald Walter's book, Money Magnetism, has money mentioned only once in the first chapter titled Me and Money. Why do you suppose none of these books talk about money when the purpose of the book is to assist the reader in accumulating wealth? They do not talk about money for the same reason a farmer does not spend time explaining how to bring in the harvest when he is teaching his son how to plant a seed. There is a season for sowing and there is a season for reaping, but you never do both in the same season. Be quiet and listen carefully to what I am going to say. The paper you fold and place in your purse or pocket is not money. It is paper with ink on it. It represents money, but it is not money. Money is an idea. The earning of money has nothing to do with this paper stuff. It has to do with consciousness. That is precisely why all of these great authors who wrote books, which people claim helped them earn millions of dollars, never wrote about money. Sam Kalanick probably knows as much about earning money as anyone I know. If you listen to him when he is explaining to his people how to earn a lot of money, you will not hear him talking about money. You'll hear him talking about loving people, about helping people and providing service. He'll talk about getting into a positive vibration, mixing with the winners, overlooking other people's faults, and helping other people get what they want. I know this all sounds kind of mushy. It may not appear to have much substance to it. But that is what all the great authors write about. And if you study, you will find this kind of information has real substance. I am aware there are books which instruct you on how to manipulate markets, manipulate stocks and people. They might even help you get money. But there is no spiritual strength there. And if there is no spiritual strength, there is no lasting happiness, no real wealth. Money in abundance should only represent a part of your abundance. If you want money, ask for abundance in all areas of your life. Then study, understand, and follow the laws for sowing, which will reap an abundant harvest in all areas of your life. There are laws governing physical health, and if you violate those laws, you lose. You are well aware that your body cannot remain healthy if you are smoking and filling your lungs with nicotine, drinking alcohol, or eating rich foods in excess. Everyone knows this type of behavior is not conducive to physical health. Likewise, there are laws governing the earning of money. If you do not already own the book I wrote, You Were Born Rich, I would suggest you get a copy. Read and then reread Chapter 1, Me and Money. You must become very comfortable with the idea of money. Now, that may sound strange. However, most people are not comfortable with money, which is why they do not have any. Listen carefully to conversations about money. Most people will apologize or give some form of justification for wanting money, if in fact they will even talk about it. The average person's face will change color and their behavior will change when a serious conversation arises about earning money. None of this is so with wealthy people. Wealthy people are aware that money is a medium of exchange and they treat it as such. They respect it. They feel very comfortable with money, and they are quite at ease talking about money. They keep money in its proper place. They remain the master, and money remains the servant. When wealthy people experience a financial problem in their life, which is not uncommon, they possess the wisdom to focus on the cause of the problem. They make the mental corrections required and proceed. You rarely ever hear a wealthy person talking about their financial problems. Do you know why that is so? The obvious answer is that wealthy people don't talk about financial problems